Hey, it's Emma, Super Sensitive Human, and I am in Sedona today, which is where I go grocery shopping. It's about a 45-minute drive from my house. So when I come here, I try to do a couple things, and I don't have Mercy today because it's pretty hot, and I didn't want to leave her in the car because I didn't know exactly what I was going to be doing. So this is a good opportunity for me to do some things in Sedona that I don't normally do because I have Mercy, or I just don't come here, even though there's a lot to see and a lot to do here. So right now I'm going to go into the Local Juicery and buy a acai bowl, if that's how you say that word. And I don't really love the Local Juicery juices. I always like buy them and take them home and then dump them down the sink because they're fermented already, because they don't press them on demand. They press them and put them in a cooler and leave them there for a couple days before they get rid of them. And that's the problem with fresh stuff, fresh organic stuff, as it goes bad. So I'm always throwing these like $11 juices down the drain. So if you come to the Local Juicery, make sure you buy your juice and drink it here in case it is fermented, and then you can complain to them in person. Local Juicery like 3 out of 5 stars because of the aforementioned juice freshness problem, and because they have no bathroom, and because it's very, very, very loud inside with the blender machines, and the music is pumped up way loud to trying to overcome the blender machines. But I do still come because it has non-toxic food, unlike 99% of places. Alright, now that my teeth are full of junk, I'm going to see if I can go to the Boynton Canyon Vortex. This might be a bad idea because there's not very much parking there, and but it might be better today than a different day because it's not a holiday, it's not the weekend, it's pretty hot outside, getting hotter every minute. I haven't been here actually since before I lived here, like December 2011 or something crazy like that. But I've been to the other most famous vortexes, the Cathedral, Airport, and the Bell Rock. So this is the only one that I haven't been to since I lived here because it's kind of far back out on this road and doesn't have very good parking. But it's the nicest one because it's the most shady and because it's a canyon. All the other ones you climb up and are up on top of like a plateau. This one is a shady canyon that you're kind of walking back into. We have to buy a parking pass for $5. So here we go on the Boynton Canyon Trail. It's 3 miles to the end, so 6 miles out and back, which is quite a bit, and I probably won't do that, although I do have a full bottle of water, and I did just eat an entire acai bowl. In true Sedona fashion, a guy walked up to me and handed me this heart-shaped rock and said that this is infused with the power of Mother Earth Mother Nature and unconditional love and something else for me to take home with me. I feel like a tourist, which is weird because my brain's like having a freak out because half of it feels that feeling of freedom and exploration and letting loose, and half of it's like, we gotta go home, there's stuff to do, you've got homework to do, the dog's waiting for you. This part of the trail is dumb because you have to skirt this fancy resort, enchantment resort. It costs $400 a night. And that's for now. For a weekday in the summertime, who knows how much they could possibly go up to. And I always see ads continuously on Craigslist for employment for this place. They pay $11 an hour. I'm not saying I don't want to stay there. I definitely want to stay there. I just think we should pay employees a livable wage. It's also a shame they don't have a green roof program with these flat roofs and ruining the landscape like this with their white color. Get some plants up there, some sedums. Finally, after what seems like a million years, you get past the last of the resort buildings. It's probably about a mile. And you're on the bottom of the canyon floor. Desert milkweed. And this is the good part of the trail. This is the part everybody wants to be on, but they are not making it. I passed about a dozen people on the first quarter mile, and then nobody along the whole resort portion. So I'm out here in the vortex all alone. Perfect time to see some reptilians. Or reptiles. Probably just reptiles. But I would recommend it if you want to get some peace and quiet, to come out at high noon. Bring yourself a couple of liters of ice water and one of those bandanas that you put around your neck that has frozen balls in it, and just take a snooze under one of these shady trees. Look at this cool bark. It's like camo. It's real tree camo. Get it? Well, here I am in the forest. I gave up hiking after about 5 minutes into the good part of the trail. Definitely not about to have a mystical experience. Not very comfortable. There's flies landing all over me. The ground has got leaves on it. Gross. Now they're like pokey oak leaves that poke into you. It's hot out. My water is lukewarm and sucky. And my camera doesn't work right because I gotta put the screws back in because Canon G7X has a horrible screw problem, and so I can't see myself. I'm looking at myself upside down, so I can't see. So I've got a terrible paunch here, or if you can see my pubic hair hanging out. So vortexes. What are they, and what do I think about them? They are supposedly energy, concentrated energy, energized spots, similar to the concept of a chakra on your body, where energy can move in and out. Or similar to having a place of extra energy, like the way you may be able to do Tai Chi and cultivate more energy. Say the earth in this place has more energy. Could even be a place of a specific type of energy, like a place that holds a very peaceful energy, like a special church could be said to have a vortex of that one type of energy, whereas a city might have a vortex, like New York City might have a vortex of a very busy, awake energy. Do I believe in the vortexes? I mean, yeah, I do. I know enough people who can feel energy that it seems to be real, but I don't really feel anything exactly. I just can appreciate the beauty and nature like a regular person, and the landscape is certainly weird and magical, and there's little plateaus or something that definitely seem fit for a place of meditation or ceremony within that landscape, so it all kind of makes sense to me. But I don't really feel it, although when I did come here a few years back in the winter time, I went to this sushi restaurant, and I remember shaking the whole time I was in the sushi restaurant, and I think it might have just been from driving all day, because sometimes that happens to my nervous system if I drive all day really fast, but it seemed like it lasted a really long time, like the whole time I was in the restaurant. So I wonder if it was both things, if my nervous system was kind of weakened or sensitized by riding in the car for so long, and then I was extra sensitive to the earth energy of Sedona when I got here, so it was like doubly going haywire. Don't know, just a theory. I also, maybe I do feel the energy, because I have an aversion to Sedona that has nothing to do with the people or anything. It has to do with the redness of the red rocks and the red dirt and everything being red. Maybe I just find that too stimulating, and maybe it is, maybe it's just an association for an overall energy that I can feel that is represented by the color red that I don't like. Again, just a theory. I think that the vortexes, though, are a combination of things. I think they're a combination of earth energies and magnetic fields and people's expectations and their willingness to kind of let go and get into a spiritual place of spiritual expectation when they come here, and be open to different things happening to them. So, but I know people who don't know anything about the vortexes and they still have an experience coming here. So there's that. I think there's definitely something going on with the energy, or one guy who's an engineer was measuring the magnetic fluctuations of the earth and seeing that people's brain waves were matching up with them with an EEG, and that they were, you know, going into like theta and alpha and all that. And so that may be that the magnetic fields here are somehow particularly strong for entraining people's brain waves, and that is one thing that causes them to have those metaphysical experiences here. It'd be a very reasonable scientific way to explain it if you could just repeat that experiment a bunch of times and you know, do it, have controls in somewhere that's not supposed to be a vortex. Maybe that's what I'll do for my thesis. Sounds expensive though, and beyond my electrical capabilities and understandings. We'll see. Oh no, I broke my heart. That is sadly appropriate. It was kind of a last minute decision to walk out here today, otherwise I would never be caught dead wearing shoes. Sandals all the way, baby. Well, I don't know if I got anything from going to that vortex. I got 2 blisters on my heels and a case of gassy indigestion. Now I'm at Whole Foods doing my shopping. I'm like Larry David or something. It's hard to get me excited. Whole Foods, it's got its problems too. It's the best place to shop around here. Best produce, but it's not good enough for me. Because what I want in a grocery store that has high quality produce is for it to all be organic, and they don't have that at Whole Foods. And I don't like looking at the signs to see, is this one organic or is this one not organic, and then it's on sale. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the cute ladder guy. So I got interrupted in the middle of my monologue because when I first walked into Whole Foods, there was a cute boy on a ladder fixing the door that I kept kind of staring at. And then when I was outside of Whole Foods in the car trying to tell you about how much I hate Whole Foods, I was trying to talk to the camera, but he walked around the truck and then into his truck, which was over here on this side, and he proceeded to eat a sandwich. And so I felt like a dum-dum because I'd already been staring at him. I think he already knew that I had a crush on him. So I had to just quit and drive away. You're saying, why didn't you just take that opportunity to slip him your number? Well, I think he was probably like 26 or 28, probably too young for me. Not that if he was 35 or 38, I would have slipped him my number because I'm a dum-dum.